Hey, we got Sharon. I don't love any of these. I think if you pick chicken, you're throwing away the buff. I think we're just supposed to pick Billy Goat, let it become a 4/4, and then try to get something that holds Sharon's buff a little better. Unfortunately, none of these are really great at buff holding. Making the Minotaur into like a 7/2 just means it gets, it trades with everything still, but it takes a while for that to get high enough to survive. Wow, we're just not seeing things I'd like to see. I mean, so the... Oh, and this didn't even die the first hit. Oh, well. It would be better to pick chicken, right? Chicken's more likely to die. Huh, that's interesting. Um, so we gotta roll and find something better, or we can just take like a Fanny blind mouse. I think we'll just do that. We'll take the 2 damage. Be a little silly doing this. None of these are really characters we want to die. I think what we end up doing is wanting Goat to die if possible first, and then Fanny, because if we end up going, oh well, we have 0 control over this, and it doesn't matter. We got worked over by support. So okay, so here's what we want: is the baby root. Here's a dwarf. Here's another thing. I think we're gonna take everything, right? A lock. I'm gonna move this into the back. Grab Buddy over here, and this for this turn. So the crafting, I guess, would be a little bit bigger this turn, but I think we'd prefer to have the goats die because there's 2 of them. We're letting the tree die first. I think getting the tree up to 3 power and then letting it just take off in health is actually pretty valuable. And next turn we'll pick up these 2 and hopefully a 3-drop. We might not pick up both of them. Maybe we won't. Maybe it would be better to buy the mouse, or sorry, to buy the cat and sell it. Okay, so there we go. I get some big Humpties. Oh, they do lose 1 though. It's bad for them. It doesn't help us. We're still gonna get cracked in this fight. Oh, cracked. Didn't need to. What can you do? This is interesting because, we can just buy an XP, right? We could go XP crafty even. If we wanted, we could go XP crafty or XP familiar. I think crafty's better because it's a 3/3 this fight. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Obviously, this hasn't been the most impressive start, but getting an XP is really nice. We're playing Skip. Hopefully Skip hasn't time to stabilize yet. They're level 4 though, so we have a pretty weak board, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were strong enough. But I think getting the XP is worth it because this board wasn't super appealing. We have 1 more slot. Okay, it looks like they are big enough to beat us, which is not great. Okay, so down to 21. Wow. A lot of early damage for the good guys over here. What do we want to do here, right? Against Jax. So Jax is actually really tough to get a slay off of, if that's what we were trying to do. We can reduce the cost of everything. Go down to 4. Buy these 2 things. And the chicken, if we sell something, hold on to an extra gold, basically. It just, we're still just not likely to actually, we're going to lose this fight again, and we're getting kind of low. They're at level 3. I'm going to take some damage. I don't know what else we're looking for, though. I think we're going to have to do that. Grab this, grab this. Sell buddy. Okay, and then in terms of things we can get in, we just want all our beefiest stuff in, but we also want crafty right here, something along these lines. But yeah, I think we're going to lose this fight, so hopefully on 4, having a golden chicken in hand, we are able to turn it around. We actually did get a slay, which was surprising. we're pretty lost in this fight. Taking us down to 14 already. Then we just lost every fight, except maybe the first one. It's a dragon. So we could grab 2 mermaids and then buff this thing really big for a turn. That costs 10. So we had to sell 1 and maybe 2 over here. But that's fine because we're taking out so many slots. I don't hate the mermaids. Of course, mermaids are better if you have bigger things to begin with. Because if you're losing every fight, having a bunch of mermaids is a little bit goofy looking. We would like this to slay a couple times. Yeah, I think we're gonna try it. Cast this here, and then go mermaid. Mermaid, probably put this in the middle. Try to maximize the slays. Throw this over here. You know, I mean, we hit 4 early. We saw 2 4-drops and they were a pair. So I think going for them makes some amount of sense. Maybe it would have been better to keep it crafty instead of the fanny, because we weren't going to keep it in anyways, but if we get the treasures, then it's better. I don't know, we're just really hoping this thing can slay, right? If this thing can't slay, we're in trouble. Okay, we do win this fight, but we did only get 1 slay off of this thing that we invested an entire buff in. So this is interesting. This is a great first thing to die because it's so consistently the first thing to die. The end gives us some health back. I guess it's to 5 next turn. I think we're going to do that. I think actually we could visit Vampire. Vampire is a 5/5 though. We are pretty weak. We might not want to mess around. So yeah, let's get rid of this thing. And, you know, I love Nutcracker, I just don't think it's getting there. I'm going to put this right here. This right here. Make sure we have the big one in. And see what else this thing brings us. Well, with all these slays, you would think that Shadow Assassin would be nice. If we had 1 more gold, we'd go sell Shadow Assassin. But I think in general, we just don't have the time. We really need this thing to slay here. They're on 4. It's going to start to get to the point where things are too big. So that's potential liability. You know, hopefully this just takes out the back line, gets 1 slay, gets a buff, and it just keeps growing. And eventually it can hopefully survive, right? Oh, it actually does survive this hit. Okay, so trades 2 for 1, that's nice. Oh, that thing's big though. Yeah, looks like we're getting crushed this fight. At least we took out their biggest thing, so we take a little less damage. And we didn't get the slay up on this buddy. Should we take another one? Probably. We could just go straight for a 6-drop. How much gold do we have total? This would be 8, 12. But we're replacing 2 things. Yeah, we'd have to sell too far down. I think we're fine just grabbing 1 thing, I guess. No, we're gonna get crushed this fight is the problem. Now we do just take a 6-drop. Green Knight's pretty big. I don't hate that. Now we can go 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Put this thing in. Buy this. Okay. You know. This is a board of things. This first one isn't likely to survive, so this will get to attack second. We're at 5, they're at 4. We're at 9 health, they're at 28 health, so there's you know, some imbalances. But yeah, hopefully these dragons are actually able to slay things and get a little bigger and, you know, continue to go wild. Oh, that thing surviving is nice. Ooh, both of them survived. That was fantastic for us. It looks like this will finally get the 3-drop treasure that we've been we've been waiting for. Oh, we actually have a few more slay opportunities. That's nice because the things do grow. Oh, I guess just this threat the back line eventually attacks. So gambling on the 6 might work out. Okay, we can't reasonably just go for treasure map, right? I mean, these are... we're close to leveling. I wonder if it would be stupid if we die, but we're not gonna like... if we get power, we're gonna go for treasure map. I know I said it wasn't reasonable 2 seconds ago, but here we are. He has a nice 5-drop. He has a mummy. How good is mummy here? I mean, I don't know that we need to replace anything. Let's grab this and just keep rolling. Bobby Yaga would be nice, but we don't really have a great way to replace anything. Right? I think finding a 6-drop treasure is pretty valuable. Which just means getting a mermaid or a dragon. Like, I guess we could replace the tree, but it's a 7/17? That's not small. You know, that's better than a 10/10, I think. So I mean, if we had bought a mummy, it was like we could buy 2 mummies. If we could have bought 2 mummies, I would have done that. You know, maybe we do start getting rid of these mermaids because they're gonna get a little weak. You know, just as combatants. But I don't know. I'm not in a rush. I mean, hopefully Avella has like a back line that we can take out immediately, so, and not just waste a thing on the front line, you know, front side of a cat. We didn't actually get to kill that one either. You know, so far this hasn't worked out great. Wow, yeah, this is we are getting some not good hits here. Does that kill us? No, not quite. Yeah, those were some not great hits. I don't think that's us. I don't think that's us either. There we go. Let's get the 6-drop. So this is interesting. We can make... Roundtable makes us stuff a lot bigger. Ivory Owl also does, it just... I don't know that we have time. We might need the immediate buff. So I think we're going to take the immediate buff. And then buy like a wombat. It does sort of suck grabbing something, you know, that doesn't seem... I wish we could even cast a spell. It's so unappealing, but it's going to immediately give us, you know, plus 17, plus 7, plus 10, plus 12, and another plus 20 here. I mean, those are all significant. We don't know if they'll end up mattering, obviously. And if the dragon is the first thing to continue dying, it actually gets plus 2 health. And, you know, it gets plus 2, plus 2. So, I don't know. I mean, I would have loved, if we had, you know, 10 more health, I'd probably take Ivory Owl. Maybe that would have been a mistake. Roundtable is just incredibly strong. And if we can grab some more Green Knights, we can really buff off front line and make them huge. But, you know, we're in a position. We might just lose here to a skip. Ooh, them surviving at 1 was pretty brutal. I think we might have this. They have a really big backliner. We have this terrible spawn. Oh, the Echowood managed to be not only useless, which you sort of expect out of an Echowood spawn, but it managed to hit the angry and actually buff their board, which is not what you expect. Okay, we're at 6 now. Okay, we'll grab a 4-drop treasure here. I mean, I think these all suck, right? I think maybe we'll get the Forking Rod. Grab this thing, double cast some stuff. Is any of this worthwhile for next turn or no? I think the answer is no. We can roll and maybe find some health. So it's worth putting like this in front. I want to get buffed. Becomes a 20/20 and immediately gets buffed. And maybe you can get some slays. Yeah, I think that's worth it. We can actually put it as the first attacker. Oh, but we know that we want it to... Yeah, because this gains nothing from the health, because this is already getting rounded up. It's amazing that we still have a happy little tree that's not even particularly big. We need to get rid of this thing. This is awful. We could cast this, which gives +10/+10, given the round table. I don't think that's enough, though. I think we really want like an... We could really go and look for an Ashwood and come out with something here. I think this person beat us pretty bad last time we fought them, right? I guess taking out these things first. Wow, taking out both the things is nice. Oh, not taking out that. We really wanted that to grow. Okay, well we did crush them. The person was already knocked out, which isn't as helpful as we'd hope, but... I think a double buff is actually worthwhile. It gives it +4/+4. Could take a Cupid here. But I think I'm willing to spend some time to try to find an Ashwood. Here we go. Wow, we got very lucky here. Put it up front. We sell this thing. And buy Fog, just in case they have a lot of range characters. I mean, we only have... Oh, I guess we have a fourth tree. I actually forgot we had a happy little tree. So this is going to give +30/+30. Which, interestingly, doesn't... Because these things have so much health at the moment, it doesn't grow them that much. Like, this would be a 20/20, it says it's going to be, I guess, a 37/37. This would be a 40/40 instead of a 30/30. This will be a 37/37 instead of a 23/23. All those seem significant. I think I was undercounting it a little bit. And then we'll just look for more trees in the future. I mean, even Nutcracker is better than anything else we have, but I think we're just going to look for more 6s if we survive this fight. I guess this double cast the Fog too, right? So they'll get, if they have range characters, they'll be really small. We just have to hope they don't have giant stuff, because that's really what we're worried about, right? We do have, I mean, this is great at disrupting backlines. You know, obviously, it's a flying dragon, and, you know, there's a lot of potential, do we want this up front? You know, there's a lot of potential comps that this just wrecks if it can just take out, like, a Bastine. Or, like, it does 2 attacks sometimes early, so, I don't know what to say. Oh, maybe it'll take out that Cupid, which is great, and then it'll take out the other thing. So they have a lot of stats is the issue. Because everything gets +6/+6. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of stats on the board that's going to be tough to bang our way through. That thing surviving at 2 isn't insignificant. I think we have this though, right? Our things are big. Yeah, our things are big enough. Finding that Ashwood was game changing. Let's go find another one. None of these are Ashwoods. And I don't think we can cast a thing. Oh, we did double cast that, didn't we? So we're placing one thing, right? Buy this one. So if we sell, we can buy a 5. So buying, like, this thing becomes a 31/31. Is that better than the 6/5? I mean, probably, right? Yeah, and it's probably just better. We can just buy it without much loss. It's not that much better though. And buffing all these things attacks has very little value. We could maybe just look for some other stuff for the next turn. lag. Yeah, we didn't find anything. We could have grabbed that. We could have paused for the polymorph. You know, we could be out again here. Yeah, this is a tough one. That's a good hit. Okay, everything's big now, but we did get a 2-for-1. The issue is going to be the giant, the real big thing in the back. It'd be great if this, yeah, went there. Why is that thing at 36, 36? I think we win this, right? Because we have the ranged. Yeah, well, okay. We're surviving. That's step one to winning. Wow, how is no one getting knocked out? You guys are killing me here. Now we have to play first place. We're seeing trees, but they're really not the ones we're looking for. Oh, in terms of trees that we're looking for, though, I would say that's on the list. And you know, it seems kind of stupid, but I think it makes sense. So by buffing this, we buff all of our trees. I think it makes sense to sell the mermaid and the wombats and get this thing, which is just +6/+6 on our dragon. Right? Yeah. And then go from there, right? I mean, this is as best as we can do. You know, if they have things that are way bigger than 40/40s, you know, we're in trouble. Well, I guess, you know, it gives 41/41, so this is like a 48/48. This is a 50/50. So, I mean, those are fairly big. That's a good hit for us. That's a nice hit for us. I mean, they have a lot of trading potential because they get the +5, but I feel like we have the advantage. And I feel like someone else should be getting knocked out eventually, right? It's wild how long we've survived, but it's also wild how long everyone else has survived too. We're crushing this person, which is great. I mean, we got, you know, lucky. I mean, that dragon, having this giant dragon has been, you know, a huge help. Okay, now we have to play someone else again. Okay, let's see some spells. Okay, buffing this up buffs everything up. And we get the double cast, phenomenal. Getting a second one in place of this thing, yeah. You know, we're trying. Right, now I think, so these are going to make everything 80/80s, which I think is bigger, like, is a dragon going to be better than just an 80/80 happy little tree? Is a question. And my initial feeling is yes, because it's been so disruptive, although I forget who we're playing against, so that could be a concern. It's great to keep this on a bench, because if we ever triple one of our 6s, you know, if we keep surviving and we end up tripling them, then we'll have something to put back in that's also a tree. You know, so I think that's really nice. But, you know, in sort of a weird situation still, I think we played Skip relatively recently, and I think we did fine, but so many things can change. It's when you're on 6, every turn can just lead to massive changes. I think the dragon has been instrumental in all of our wins, taking out people's backlines. They've been really vulnerable to that. No one has a beefy backline. You know, even our backline, which is pretty big. I guess, you know, with the Ashwoods, they'd all, you know, beat the dragon, but I don't know. We're going to keep this. Oh, they're dwarfs. Okay, so it might just run into that giant princess. But it didn't the first time, at least. And it didn't the second. Wow, we got some lucky attacks. We're going to knock this person out, which is nice, because that means we get top 3. And, you know, top 3 is it's pretty nice. I think we actually get some points for that. We don't really get points for 4, I think. I think we usually break even or lose a couple. We do get the win of the day, I guess. This is our first game of the day, so, you know, we'll take whatever we can get. There's no way we're supposed to buy this, right? Okay, we're tripling something up. So here, just doubling our support bonuses are going to make everything as big as possible. And do we want this tree over... No, I don't think we care, right? We'd rather just find a good spell. Pretty good spell. Gives everything plus 12 plus 12. I wonder if we just want that for next turn, too. Giving our entire board plus 12 with one spell seems really nice. I don't know. We played Merlin recently, and I think we won. We must have won, right? Because otherwise we'd be dead. It's unfortunate that Avella got to play. So so we just played somebody, but now Avella's playing the clone. But since they played each other, even if we win this fight, we'll probably have to play Avella next turn. So we have to do 3 fights in a row, whereas they're gonna get a lot of clones, I think. I think that's true. I could be just saying things. I mean, let's not rule that out. Oh, it's possible that Merlin was the one with the good boys, and then the the good backline. So that makes the dragon even more important. But it also is really tough because they might have the Bastien too. Yeah, they did. Okay. But we need to take those things out ASAP. Well, that's going to grow too big, right? Oh, just a little too big, yeah. I think we can still do this because these things don't grow that much without the Bastien, right? I don't think we can keep enough things on board most... Oh, no. Looks like their things are... Yeah, their things are falling off. So as long as everything survives, they'll get knocked out here. Or, yeah, this being alive. So as long as... Oh, sorry, 5 things can survive. We were knocking them out. Perfect. That's nice. Oh, and she lost to the clone. Okay, so, we did it. We did it. We made a full comeback. We made that sort of dragon mermaid transition. We really went in. We chose the round table. When we thought we just had no turns left, and it ended up being huge because we moved into trees. Obviously, we didn't know we were doing that, but it was the one with the most immediate impact, and I think it was the right choice. Over in round table is just incredibly strong. It's just sometimes it's not super strong early on because you don't have big differentials. But there we had a dragon that was going to get plus 20 health or whatever, and we just figured we had to go for the the high value play that turn because Ivory Owl given +2/+2 to everything wasn't going to get us over that hump. And then we got very lucky finding 7 6-drop trees. I think we actually bought. I think we were talking about we bought a baby bear and then True Love's Kissed into this thing, into one of them, and then sort of helped direct our comp, especially when we had round table. So that was very lucky. We did find an Ashwood just in time. The fights weren't particularly close late in the game because it looked like we were the only one who really got a late game build online. I guess, I mean, that guy had Echo Wood. Who was the last person we fought? Merlin? Or maybe it was Avella. So, no, it was Merlin. Avella, I think we had fought previously, and she had a pretty weak comp. But Merlin, he looked like he had a stronger comp that had the Echo Wood and the Bastien, but our Dragon was just so good at taking out people's backlines. People just had backlines that were really vulnerable to disrupting. And, I mean, Dragon is really good at that. It's hard to get a backline that will survive a 50 damage character, right? And, it got 2 attacks early on. We even prioritized, I mean, some parts of this is because of, getting the right buffs. Although we actually didn't need the buff on this anymore because it was getting the round. So we could have chose the range attack, but I think the 2 disruptive attacks, even though it didn't quite kill the Echo with that last round, was just so huge, right? It was so big. And, taking out 1 or 2 of people's backlines where they try to get, Trees isn't like that, right? Trees scaling all happens in a front-loaded way. Dwarfs as well. I mean, we took out the Bossy, but their scaling all happens in a front-loaded way. I don't think they found a Lordy, actually. Yeah, they didn't seem to have found a Lordy, which means they were, barely playing Dwarfs at that point. That's just, you just really don't have a Dwarf comp in the late game if you can't find Lordies. I know that as well as anybody because I've gone a lot of Dwarf comps and, occasionally just not found Lordies. But yeah, I mean, really fun game. I have a tendency to fall behind early. I'm not going to say I love doing that, but it is fun when you fall behind, then you're able to stabilize, and then every fight is sort of a high tension thing, you know, when we come back, it's harder to play because you can't make any investments in the future. You know, you really have to take, you know, the maximum power level each turn. We actually found a lot of the +6 to our health, and we had the forking rod, so we were able to give, which basically gave +12/+12 to our board, which is incredible. But you know, you know, every match was a pretty high intensity thing. If we, you know, if we lost any of them, we would have been out. I think we ended up with 3 health maybe. So I had a lot of fun. Hope you had fun watching. And I think thank you everybody for, you know, watching these videos or leaving comments. Let me know what you would have done differently, because I can't imagine we were destined to fall into this massive hole that I managed to maneuver us into. So if you have, you know, a different path you would have taken, especially early in the game, let me know, because I keep getting myself into these holes, and it's cool when I can, you know, wiggle my way out, but it doesn't always happen. So, um, yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good one.